Hello, my name is James Short, and I'm the owner of Short Fire Protection. We service Memphis, Tennessee and the surrounding area, as well as Arkansas and Northwest Mississippi, as far down as Water Valley, Mississippi. So anyway, we look forward to taking care of you, and what we want to do today is we want to go over how to inspect an ABC fire extinguisher and what inspectors are looking for when they come out to do your inspection. First off, we're going to inspect the extinguisher. We're going to take the extinguisher. There are 23 steps involved with this inspection. So before we even get to this extinguisher, we're going to verify that you have the right hanger or the right cabinet in place for the extinguisher that you have. Okay, this is a 5-pound ABC fire extinguisher. The extinguisher doesn't weigh 5 pounds. The extinguisher weighs more, about 9 pounds. So a lot of people think it's a 10-pound fire extinguisher, but it's not. This is a 5-pound fire extinguisher, and it's in most of your retail locations and commercial settings. So after we inspect the place where your extinguisher is hanging or mounted in a cabinet or on a bracket, and make sure it's the proper bracket or cabinet, then we're going to go ahead and move on and make sure that hanger is the right hanger, in fact, for this extinguisher. We're going to verify that the nameplate is legible and not damaged. You have to be able to read the directions that are on here, whether it's the maintenance technician or the person using the fire extinguisher. Okay. We're going to confirm that the extinguisher is not recalled. We sell only extinguishers that are made in the United States. Kitty just had a recall on a lot of extinguishers, and they replaced thousands of them. It cost them a lot of money. But this is a Buckeye fire extinguisher. It's made in the United States. We inspect all different kinds of extinguishers: Amerex, Badger, Ansel, Pyrochem, you name it. We inspect them all. So, but we're a distributor for Buckeye. All right, so we're going to confirm that the extinguisher is not subject to the recall. So this extinguisher is not subject to a recall. We're going to verify the extinguisher records and labels. So this extinguisher here doesn't have a service collar in place, so it's never been recharged. It's still like it came from the manufacturer. We're going to inspect the gauge, make sure that the gauge is in the green. We're also going to inspect the gauge to make sure that the gauge is the proper gauge for ABC dry chemical. Okay, you can't have a wet chemical gauge on an ABC dry chemical extinguisher. So that's the right one. We do a few things. When you see a technician invert a fire extinguisher like this right here, one thing he's doing is he's letting the powder fall down to the bottom, because most likely in a lot of places the extinguisher sits there for a whole year. So this way the powder gets a chance to fall down. At the same time, we're looking at the date on the extinguisher to see when it was manufactured. The extinguisher date will usually be on the bottom of the extinguisher or somewhere on the label, usually on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, depending on the manufacturer of the extinguisher. Then we want to take the extinguisher off and visually inspect both sides of the extinguisher hose or nozzle. Okay, we had to take a break, but we were on inspection of the hose, and we're going to inspect both sides of the hose to make sure there's nothing in there. A lot of times wasps and dirt daubers and spiders, they like to get in here and they'll clog it up, or they'll get dirt in there so bad that the extinguisher may not work as efficiently as it's supposed to put out your fire. Okay, so we've inspected that the threads are fine on it as well. We want to look inside here and check the valve stem. Check the valve stem on the other side. We don't have any leakage. There's no powder visible. The gauge is still in the green, so that's our telltale sign right there that it's still good. Okay, so when we had it inverted a minute ago, we were checking the date on the extinguisher. So this extinguisher was a 2010. So in 2016, this extinguisher was supposed to have a 6-year maintenance done on it, which would have resulted in a recharge being done after all the powder was taken out and the proper inspection was done. And there would have been a label here somewhere saying that a 6-year had been completed, the month and the date, and the technician who did it would initial it or sign it. At the 12-year point in the fire extinguisher's life, it's going to require a hydrostatic test or the extinguisher is going to require a replacement with a new extinguisher. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this nozzle back on, this hose. We're also inspecting this strap here to make sure it's properly securing the hose in place and it's properly adjusted and tight. All that's good. So this extinguisher we know needs a 6-year maintenance on it, okay? One of the other things we're going to do is every year this tamper seal needs to be replaced. We're going to inspect the pull pin, make sure it's not bent or damaged and that it pulls out easily the way it just did. We're going to put it back in. We're going to take a new tamper seal and put it in place. Tighten it down. This way, if anybody handles this extinguisher, the pull pin doesn't fall out and have an inadvertent discharge. A lot of times when people grab these and move them around, they'll grab them and they'll just grab both sides and it'll cause a discharge and the powder will come out. And if you have a little powder come out, it's going to result in a leak down and your extinguisher is not going to be any good. So anyway, that pretty much completes the inspection, other than the fact that I didn't mention that we're looking for damage, any damage at all to this cylinder, okay? Maybe it fell off the wall, a forklift hit it, knocked it off the wall. That's common at a lot of the places we inspect. Or corrosion starts to take place because it's in a moist area where there's a lot of water or dampness and it starts to corrode. And if any of those things are there in place, then the extinguisher is going to fail the inspection and the extinguisher is going to need to be replaced. Okay, it's important to have a licensed company inspect your extinguishers. Make sure that you check that they're licensed and also make sure they're insured, that they have liability insurance and workers' comp. Don't think you just have one choice when it comes to fire extinguisher inspection or inspections or service. Okay, there's a lot of companies in the Memphis area and Oxford that have been around a long time. Okay, but I'm here to tell you, Sears was around a long time too, and they didn't change with the times. And sometimes people go out of business, just like Sears did. So anyway, you have a choice. You can give Short Fire Protection a call. Look at our reviews on Google and see why so many other people are happy with our service. We'd love to have you as our customer as well and take care of your fire protection needs. Thank you very much.